of the U.S. welcomes the 12 world-class teams to the epicenter of glitz, glamour, and blockbuster films. The L.A. Waterfront will swap super tankers for supercharged F-50s. This league is brutal. One mistake, and it's game over.
What a moment, and Brazil! Oh, look at the pile-up!
Who will reign in the City of Angels when a series prize pool of $12.8 million is on the line? Welcome to SailGP.
All right, everyone, welcome. Good morning. Welcome to the official opening press conference of the Rolex Los Angeles Sail Grand Prix, the fourth event of Rolex's SailGP Championships 2025 season. I'm your host, Natalie Morales. A few of you may recognize me from my years as news anchor at the Today Show. Now I'm a correspondent for CBS News and 48 Hours, and I know I am personally so excited to be here for my very first SailGP event. And I know the city of Los Angeles is very excited to have you and welcome you here. So thank you for being here to witness the most exciting racing on the water this weekend. 12 teams representing the best athletes in the sport. They're going to be battling it out here for the very first time. And we know that this weekend's event, SailGP's second visit to the port of Los Angeles, is going to be very welcome. We've had a very trying few months here, as you all know, so we needed this. Thank you for bringing it here to Los Angeles again. For those of you who are new to SailGP, you're about to learn a little bit more about this exciting global sail racing league. Now, for those of you who have been following it along, you don't need to tell me to tell you how exciting it is. The competition is more intense now than ever. A new driver now leads the standings. 2 new teams are finding their way. And this weekend, we see the return, of course, of our home team, Team USA. We're excited about that. We're going to have more on that shortly. Before we get started, though, we do want to just let you know what's going on here this morning. We're going to bring up SailGP athletes here shortly for a moderated panel. We're going to open the floor to some questions so that you all can ask one-on-one questions to your athletes as well. And you'll have a chance also as well to ask some of our SailGP spokespeople in the room here too. First to the scene, though, I would like to welcome to the stage SailGP co-founder and CEO Sir Russell Coutts and France SailGP team driver Quentin de la Pierre. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Gentlemen, thank you. I know it is such an honor to be here with you all today. Thank you. Let me start with you, Russell, if you can set the scene for us here in Los Angeles and what we can expect this weekend. I mean, some, as we said, are going to be discovering SailGP for the very first time this weekend. What can we expect here on these waters?
Well, thank you, Natalie, and thank you to all of our media guests for joining us here today. I think this weekend is going to be incredibly exciting racing. We're incredibly privileged to be bringing SailGP back to the port of Los Angeles and to racing fans here in Los Angeles. And really, that's the point. SailGP doesn't just appeal to the avid sailing fan. It appeals to the racing fan. It's the best of high-tech, high-speed racing, but it happens to be on the water. So move away from your image of traditional image of sailing, white triangles on a blue background, boats far away from shore. This is high-speed, high-tech racing, close to shore, highly engaging for the fans, and we also have great fan entertainment right beside the water. So for those that haven't got a ticket yet for this weekend, make sure you get in and buy a ticket. I looked this morning, we're almost sold out on Saturday, but there's still some tickets available for Sunday. So get in, get here this weekend and enjoy some fun by the water.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully the weather will be better by tomorrow as well. So that is something to look forward to enjoy the sailing out there. It is one of the fastest growing sports and entertainment franchises. Quentin, I understand this morning you all have a huge announcement as well. A big investor has come on board for your team. Tell me who it is, how did it come about, and what can we expect with that?
Yeah, it's an incredible news for the French sailing team. I mean, Kylian Mbappé is coming in the adventure as an investor. So, I mean, great news. We just joined our forces with the Accor group to convince him to come in our challenge. I'm super pleased to support his association on the Impact League also, inspired by Kylian Mbappé. I think we will do great collaboration this season. And yeah, I mean, super proud for our team, but also for the league. I think it's just show how the league is growing through 5 seasons now.
And what is the reaction at home? I mean, that's huge news, I can imagine, in France.
Yeah, unbelievable news because I don't think Kylian ever sailed before. So it's something great. I mean,
He's about to.
I was going to say, can you get him on board the
hopefully.
F50 with you? What do you think?
I cannot say that now, but I mean, he's super busy as an athlete, and I mean, he's got a lot of contract on his head, so I'm not sure we'll be able.
It is a dangerous sport. We don't want him to get injured.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it will be a dream for us because as a French athlete, Kylian just give us so much emotion in football, and he's also a great athlete with a strong conviction. Even as he was young, he was really pursued that he will follow his dreams through his career. So it's really, really good news. And we couldn't dream better because when you are a team that is looking for winning this championship one day, having Kylian on our side is a great effort.
It's definitely great to have him on board, but this is the second event for France of the season. Now you've got new ownership confirmed, you've got a new F50. A lot of it is new and exciting. How do you build on the momentum here in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I think we are in good shape. Financially, last season was really challenging for us, for Bruno, for Stefan, and they just did really well in the transition of the 2 seasons. So, I mean, for now, we just have to sail our own way. I think we are able to do great things, but we also still able to miss some day of racing like we did in Sydney on Sunday. So we really focus on analyzing the data and being more reliable around the racetrack. And it's not the end because tomorrow we'll announce another great brand for new sponsorship contract. So yeah, it's going really well for us now.
Oh, you can't say who it is just yet. You have to wait till tomorrow to find out, right?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay, stay tuned for that news. I mean, we know it's very exciting what's happening with France. Russell, back to you. As we say, this is the kickoff to 3 U.S. events in 2025. What can we expect here on the waters? This is a very tight course comparatively to where they head next to San Francisco, correct?
Yes, it is. We're really excited to be here in the US with 3 events. The first is obviously here in Los Angeles, the Rolex Los Angeles Sail Grand Prix. Next weekend we have the Oracle San Francisco Sail Grand Prix, and then later in June, of course, the Mubadala New York Sail Grand Prix. So 3 events in the States to kick things off. Of course, we're going to have some great racing this weekend. Probably light to moderate winds, sunny conditions, which is great, given that we don't have that today. So, and I expect to see really tight racing. 12 boats for the first time this season, hopefully barring nothing going wrong today. And then, I think it's great that we've got the US team back for this weekend. I think a lot of us are hoping that this will be the start of their comeback, where they start to move up the leaderboard. We'd all like to see that. So, really looking forward to some great racing this weekend.
Well, so are we. Thank you so much. A final question before I let you go here. I know that this event is giving back in a significant way to the city of Los Angeles as well. What are you all doing?
Well, yeah, we're incredibly grateful to our partners, Rolex, the LA Ports, and the event partners for joining us in this event here in Los Angeles, particularly in such challenging circumstances over the last month. So apart from the donations from ticket holders, we're inviting first responders to come here and join us for the weekend, and even though we're sold out, we'll certainly make room and create a great experience for them. So for those media that are here in the audience, please spread the word. We'd love to have them and their families here this weekend to join us for hopefully what will be a fun weekend by the water. Thank you.
Well, we need it. Thank you so much, Sir Russell Coutts. Thank you so much, Quentin de la Pierre. Thank you. All right, without further ado, I do want to begin the introductions to our athletes. Time to hear from some of those who will be racing this weekend here at the Port of Los Angeles. Starting with our home team, please welcome to the stage U.S. SailGP team driver, Taylor Canfield. Hello, Taylor. Welcome. Next up, our Rolex SailGP season leader, winner of last month's Sydney stopover, Emirates Great Britain driver, Dylan Fletcher. Welcome, Dylan. Good to have you with us. Also finishing on the podium in Sydney, double Olympic gold medalist in driving for our neighbors to the north, North Star Canada, SailGP teams, Giles Scott. Hello, Giles. And representing the Mubadala Brazil SailGP team, double Olympic gold medalist, Martine Grail. Hello, Martine. Last but not least, the driver from Switzerland's SailGP team, Sebastian Seb Schneider. Welcome. All right, I'm going to take my place here right next to you. Welcome to you all. Thanks so much for being here. This is exciting. All right. Taylor, let's start with you because we understand, I mean, of course, we have had some big announcements today already. Kylian Mbappe with helping with the France team. But let's talk about the excitement that's going to be happening here this weekend with our Chief Hype Officer, DJ Khaled. He's a new U.S. board member. Tell me a little bit more about that, how that came about.
Oh, we're excited to have him on board. You know, for everyone that knows him, he's quite an entertainment. So having him around at the SailGP events is going to be so much fun. And yeah, as a board member, you know, I hope this is going to be you know, a step for the entire league as well to bring that next level of interest into our league and just, you know, people that aren't always interested in sailing, getting them involved in the sport and just getting more people on the water. And that's a big goal of all of ours, I believe, is to kind of spread the interest of sailing and a big interest of ours in the U.S., get more people sailing.
Yeah, and it all starts here in the Port of Los Angeles this weekend. It's the first of 3 home events. How have you all been preparing heading into this weekend? I mean, sure, it's not been easy in these conditions. Yeah.
No, for sure. It's tough to welcome everyone to the U.S. with these conditions. It feels a little bit more like Canada. Sorry, Charles. But no, we're excited, and the weather is supposed to improve, as Russell mentioned. And yeah, I think we're gonna have some great racing. It's a tight race track, and the grandstands and the adrenaline lounge are unbelievable setup. And you know, we're in one of the biggest entertainment cities in the world. So yeah, I think we're gonna see some cool celebrities down here, and hopefully it's going to be electric. I'm excited to race, and yeah, you know, the team's been putting in a lot of hard work, and we're feeling ready.
And what is the difference being able to, I know you compete all around the world, being able to compete here at home for your team? What does that feel like?
Yeah, I mean, it's such an honor to race in your home country with your home crowd and fans and family, and represent your country. You know, it gives me the chills just thinking about it. It's,
yeah.
There's no better feeling for me. So I'm excited for the opportunity, and I know the team is ready for it. And yeah, we're pumped. So I hope everyone's excited for the week and here to cheer us on. And we're going to put a good effort in.
Okay, well, because from here, it heads to the Oracle San Francisco Sail Grand Prix next weekend. And Sebastian, remarkably, I think you're the only one who has competed at both venues for SailGP. Tell me what the difference is with the courses.
Yeah, quite different. I mean, here we could get quite some light to moderate wind condition in a very compact and tight race course. San Francisco is probably the biggest race course on the SailGP calendar, so
much more breezy.
Much more breeze as well. So yeah, different style of racing for sure, but both will be very interesting.
Martine, tudo bem? Tudo ótimo? Sou brasileira também. It's good to be with you. You're a new driver, racing with a new team. How are you feeling about Los Angeles? Does your team feel ready?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for the weekend. We got some good kit to cope with this cold weather, and I think it's going to be all good.
All good, yeah. And then from here to, then you head to San Francisco, and you know, Sebastian talked about the difference in the courses. How is your team preparing for different conditions?
Yeah, I think here it's going to be a challenge for us. We have one change of crew, and also coming back to lighter winds. Since Dubai, we haven't got so much light winds, and I think it's going to be good for our team to go back to it at a completely different level now from when we were then. And I think I don't know. I think we're ready for anything that is coming up, especially San Francisco with more breeze. We're feeling very confident, and I think it's going to be great.
Good luck. Before we dive into the weekend, I do want to look back at SailGP's most recent event, the league's 6th visit to the iconic Sydney Harbor. A new team, as we said, leads the fleet. Emirates GBR holding off of Rolex's SailGP heavyweights. Australia, as you see the leaderboard there, in 2nd place. Spain in 3rd, and just off the podium in 4th, you see New Zealand. So let's start with you, Dylan. Huge congratulations to you and to Emirates GBR for winning. Tell me about going into, here into Los Angeles. I mean, you start off on the leaderboard, but we saw there was a lot of action there. What are you doing to prepare here?
Yeah, fantastic start to the season for Emirates GBR. We, 3 events, 3 podiums, and to finally get the win in Sydney was fantastic. It's where it all started for SailGP, where my SailGP journey started, and to beat the Aussies in their home waters certainly felt good. But we know that it's an incredibly long season. Different race course here has been discussed, a bit lighter, tighter, so we're just looking to be solid and consistent and keep banging that drum.
And you're only 3 stops into this season. Are you surprised with how quickly the results have come for you?
The team's incredibly experienced, and they've done an amazing job of helping me out. I've been making plenty of mistakes around the race course, but I think the culture in the team and how we're just driving forward is been adding a lot of confidence. And we know we have a lot of work to do, and it's just about keep getting in these finals and then see what comes.
You're being very humble because clearly since you've joined the team, you've been able to have podiums each time. You've had an impact. How have you overcome the steep SailGP learning curve?
Yeah, I think that, the team, again, they've just really helped me out. I think the season 1 was so important to get that experience under my belt. In honesty, the boats have moved on so much. The technology is quite different. They're so much faster than they were then. So it's incredible to see that. But yeah, again, just really big thanks to the team and what a job they've been doing to keep me on my toes.
And you all have some exciting news as well. I mean, I know commercially that Emirates GBR, the team, has made some significant inroads as well, new investors, new partners. Tell us about what's happening.
Yeah, we're really proud to, we obviously announced JP Morgan alongside, we've had Howdens as well recently, alongside Low Carbon and Emirates, and the team's done an amazing job on the commercial front, and I think that it just goes to show the league and how much the league is growing. And to see, Rolex signing up for this championship for many years, I think that it's just so exciting to be part of it, and it feels like there's a long road ahead.
Well, so far this season, as we've said, we've had 3 different winners across 3 events, so that tells you how competitive this is. Now, Giles, you earned your first podium with Canada last month. Congratulations as well. It's been a mixed start to the season. How did you crack the code, though, to getting there on the podium?
Yeah, it's fair to say that we've had a pretty tough start to the season that thankfully got somewhat turned around in Sydney. So I think for the team that was a massive achievement for us. And yeah, we're in a good spot. We're moving in the right direction. We've been somewhat plagued by injuries, a few tricky races here and there. But yeah, I think certainly, as a team, we're hoping that Sydney is a bit of a turning point for our season, and we'll continue to push through and up the leaderboard.
Yeah, and for anyone who missed it, I mean, for those who watched, you seem to be jostling with Dylan back and forth for the final, for most of the final, only to lose out on that very last upwind leg. Afterwards, I think you said it was a shame not to get one over on your old buddies, your old teammate there. So how was it, sadly, placing second?
Well, yeah, it's kind of exactly as I said in the moment. I would have loved to have got one over on my old buddies if I'm completely frank. But I think as you've touched on earlier, they're doing an amazing job. They've been really consistent over the first 3 events. So certainly everyone has to doff your cap to how they've been performing, but we're certainly looking to hunt everyone that's ahead of us on the leaderboard down. And yeah, I think back to Sydney, it was close. We certainly felt as if we somewhat threw the race away, got a little bit unlucky here and there, but these things happen. We had a good regatta. We sailed really well, and as I say, we're moving in the right direction.
Dylan, what about you? Was it a little bit of a sweeter victory getting one over your friend here?
Oh, no, I think, we're all rivals out there and all want to win every single event. But to be honest, I think, Giles touched on they felt like they maybe let it slip, but we felt like we opened the door on the first downwind. And so it was good to make up for that and come back through and take the win.
And Giles, I mean, you're joining a new team, new home for you as well. What is sort of the learning curve in building this team to build the right momentum on from what happened to Sydney to here? Yeah,
I mean, I think, we have an amazing foundation at North Star, amazing group, both on and off the water. And yeah, with me coming in, with new management coming on board, the team is molding itself into a new entity ultimately. And as I touched on, we're really focusing on trying to make little steps to just get incrementally better every day, every event. Hopefully that can continue.
Well, I think we're used to seeing a few of these usual teams out in the front, but what may have surprised some in Sydney was Switzerland SailGP team. And Seb, you just missed out on the final. You placed on the podium, 3 podiums. How, have the Swiss finally arrived here for SailGP?
Yeah, Switzerland entered the chat. But,
yes,
no,
you're in.
Look, we made good progress since the beginning of the season, that's for sure. And we're really pleased with that, but we're not satisfied, and yeah, we want to keep pushing forward. Ultimately, as a group, we want to win. We know that might not happen today or tomorrow or in the next events, but we think we'll get there and working hard towards it.
You're building. And speaking of that, I mean, you built from practically an entirely new team, new team members. Tough decisions had to be made in order to get the right team on board, right? Tell me about that.
I mean, I guess at the end, it's all about being a good group of people that can work together well. And I think we've achieved that. We worked really hard between the 2 seasons to make that great group of people. And today I'm really grateful to be surrounded by great athletes. And I think, we can achieve great things together.
We know consistency is going to be the key for your team. Yep. So consistency. But do you also need a podium finish here in Los Angeles or maybe San Francisco next?
Well,
pressure.
Of course, podium is always great, but for us, it would be a mistake to focus too much on that or on the results. I think for now we really have to focus on the process, focus on ourselves, focusing on doing the right things on the racetrack, and then the rest will take care for itself.
Well, notably, if we go back to what happened in Sydney before the racing even began on Friday, practice can best be described as probably one of the most chaotic days in SailGP team history. There were a record number of penalties as well for Germany, Brazil, and sadly for the U.S. SailGP team. There was a major capsize, which cost the team significantly. Taylor, let's start there. I mean, we're looking at some of that footage. Hard to relive those moments for you, I'm sure, looking back at that. Tell us first what happened.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunate moment for the team, but we've seen a lot of the best in the world do that. And speaking with a lot of my friends in the league afterwards, these boats are incredibly hard to sail and very unforgiving. So things happen very quickly, and but yeah, we've moved on. We're ready for racing. We put in a big effort during and after that event to make sure that we're ready and covered everything for this event. And yeah, I think the team's just excited to get back on the water. It's tough to watch everyone else out there racing, so we're ready to race.
Well, analysts have confirmed what happened there was that it capsized, similarly to what happened in Bermuda last year, that the wing cambered, turned against the wind after a crew member pressed the wrong button. How do you ensure that something like that doesn't happen yet again?
Yeah, again, we're moving forward. So
you don't look back at that. Yeah.
Super unfortunate, but again, we're here in our home water, and we're excited to race in front of our home group. So what's in the past is in the past, and now we're looking for the rest of the season, and we need to get some points back.
And I know you've spoken candidly about some of the struggles that the team has had. You don't yourself come from a foiling background, so a little bit, some of this is coming on. It's new. These boats, as you said, they're very tricky to handle. How do you make sure that you're competitive against some of the best athletes in the world?
Yeah, I think as Seb said, we have to have this growth mindset. Not focus too much on the results right now. It's easy to look at our downfalls as a team, but as a new team, we've also been on the podium twice. So we've had some great success, and we're building that process in different conditions through the wind range. So I think we're in a great place, and fully trust the team I'm with, and you should see how hard the whole group works. It's so motivating for myself and for everyone else involved to be a part of such a good culture and chemistry that there's no way that this team won't be successful in the future.
And I know you've had to deal with your share of haters, as with every competitive event. There are going to be those who are the critics in the room. How do you deal with that? And I know you have the best team that you could possibly have right now. How do you move forward?
Yeah, I think we just carry on. When we go on the water, we're just in the moment. We're racing and we're pushing the boat hard, and there's always going to be the haters out there, and we just got to kind of brush them off and just do what we know how to do. And if we go out and do our jobs well, I know this team can be competitive. So we're going to go push the boat hard around this tight racetrack, and hopefully end up on the podium this week.
Hopefully with some good results. Thank you, Taylor. Now, the U.S., as we mentioned, wasn't the only team that had some damage in Sydney, notably Germany as well as Brazil. They were handed down penalties for incidents, proving, of course, that even on practice Friday, anything can happen. And it happened for Brazil. Martine, you were clear, I think very clear in your assessment. We're not going to repeat what you said because there were some foul words used, and we won't talk about that. But talk us through what happened and what Brazil is doing to ensure, how to be most competitive here.
Yeah, for sure, getting season points for crashes is not the way that we are looking forward. But I think moving forwards from that, we've take our learnings and also bigger understanding also about how to race those boats as rules-wise and what to and not to do. So I think it's been a big learning, and for our team right now, we're already on the race course and battling in the middle of the fleet with such big mistakes, and I think it feels for the whole team that it's just a lot of big movements forwards to be done very soon. So I think looking very forward for each event, because we're improving so quickly, and so it's just very motivating for the whole team, and I think we all feel that.
Well, as we know, this course for the very first time will be 12 F50s out there. It is a tight course. You want to avoid what happened in the past. How do you go about doing that?
What we already assessed as a team is taking full responsibility, even if we don't have the rights, or if we do have the rights. Sorry. So, it's just a change in mentality.
And of course, after San Francisco, then you head to Rio in May, which I'm sure is going to be very exciting for Brazil. And tell me about the fans there. I know they've really taken to SailGP.
Yeah, there's already a big chat about SailGP coming into Rio, so I think it's going to be really exciting, and especially any big events in Rio are quite special to me, and they're really fun as well. Rio is a very cool place to sail. There's a lot of scenery involved, of course. It's very beautiful, but as well, like a lot of people that follow SailGP. I think there's a big fan base. There was before I came in the league, and now there's even a greater fan base, so I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens there. Sebastian, back to you. And, we talk about how tight this course is, 12 teams racing for the first time. As you get ready to get out there, how are you keeping the paint job dry and making sure that your F50 is in the best shape to head out there?
Yeah, I mean, for sure in the practice days, we know there's almost more to lose than to win. So
Yes.
for sure we keep an eye on all the other boats as much as we can. Today, typically, we'll be training in 2 fleets, so that should be a little bit easier. But yeah, I think overall, we saw how quickly the season can turn around, and for us, it's just making sure we keep chipping and we don't do any silly mistakes. But I think it's part of the game.
And let me go back to you, Dylan, here, to end this thing here. As you look here at the competition on the couch, who is the greatest competition? Is it here, or is it some of the other fleets that are out you're going to be facing out on these waters?
I think there's no, denying that the Kiwis and Aussies and Spanish are some of the strongest teams out there. They've been the Spanish winning last season, but also, the Kiwis sort of winning the season points before that. So I think all teams are pushing really hard, and coming into this double-header, this small, tight race course, I'm really excited and just can't wait to get out there racing against the best sailors in the world.
All right. Well, we can't wait to see you all in action this weekend. Thank you to all our athletes. Before we break away, though, I want to give you all a chance to ask one-on-one interviews. We'd like to open the floor for any questions here in the media. Any media in the room who would like to ask a question? I believe we have some microphones.
Hi, I'm Mark Reed, Latitude 38. Martine, how do you characterize your development as a driver to date? You've had great results on the water in times, and how can you work to bring forward more female athletes into the driver's seat?
I know a bunch of mates want to go ride tomorrow.
From
What
my
about
point of
8:30?
view,
I'm like, 8:30
in my
is
team,
4
I'm
degrees.
trying
Are
to
you
get
kidding
my
me?
team to get as much data and,
Might try to get out
introduction
after
to
9.
all what's
Go
happening
to,
in our team
regions.
within
Because I don't think it's as cold as Richmond.
step in quite a few rows, and we're getting her ready for really really analyzing data and also getting a simulator time. But of course, I'm looking forward for when she steps in the boat and she does a good job, because I really trust she's an amazing sailor. And with SailGP, you cannot predict when we will have a sailor that will be put off or can't sail that event. So we have to have very good people on board, and I'm happy to have Kayana. I think there's always a bit of stigma to be broken, and I think girls need just the chance to have the experience on board.
Thank you.
Andy Rice from The Athletic. Taylor, tell us about the risk reward of starting and how you approach it. Do you book your slot early on the line, or do you take a running start at it from behind? What's your philosophy for taking into this weekend?
Oh, maybe the most complex question we're all trying to figure out up here. Yeah, I think, truthfully, I don't think there's a correct answer, and I think it changes day to day and venue to venue. Our start box and our race course change, almost race to race, or even during races at times. So, yeah, it's just about making adjustments and getting the data and the information, which we're working a lot with our coaching team to, analyze the start box and try to figure out, what it's going to look like as we're entering that box and when we're going to want to enter. Yeah, I've always been more of like a lead into the start box kind of mentality. So, I think that's a known thing, and yeah, it's a high percentage move, I'd say. So, there's some teams, maybe Canton here in the crowd might think a little bit differently. He always comes in guns blazing, which has worked out well for him in the past, and yeah, I think both can work, but again, it's going to be a game of averages in the end of the season, and yeah, I think we have to always just continue to evaluate and figure out what the venue looks like, what that start box looks like, what the conditions are for the day, and kind of take all that into account in order, coming up with a pre-start plan for that day.
Follow-up question?
Can I put the same question to Dylan? Because Dylan, I hope I can be a little bit rude after you did so fantastically well in Sydney. It wasn't your starting that won you the weekend in Sydney, as far as I could see from looking at the stats. It seems that you're coming from quite a long way back. Am I being fair? How do you rate your starts?
You've seen the stats. Yeah, no, we're probably not one of the best starters in the fleet. There's no doubt about that. but we are one of the best overtakers. So we're trying hard to improve our starts, and as Taylor said, it always changes. But hopefully we can keep that skill of overtaking boats, and that puts us in good stead at the end of the leaderboard.
Anyone else?
This is a question, Kimberly, Red Bull. I just have a question about mindset. If you finish a race well or poorly, how do you reset yourself? Because you guys have such a small window of time between races. I'm just wondering, as someone who is an anxious person, I feel like I dwell on things, and I'm curious to speak to the best in the biz at mindset, how you make that adjustment.
Giles, do you want to take that?
Yeah, I can have a go at that. I think.
Thank you.
I think the difficult thing with SailGP is that it's so variable. And I think you see it in the result sheets that if you win an event or a regatta, you don't necessarily win every race. You have to come from some pretty tough positions. And the team that are winning overall, as we just found out from the previous question, that they don't start at the front and stay there. They've been able to come through, and it is something that every team has to deal with. And I think the kind of the base level from my perspective is that you have to expect that you're going to be feeling pretty crap throughout at least one or two moments during your race day. So I think expecting it to come along is the first thing, and then just having the understanding that it's not really about how low you feel, it's kind of how quickly you can snap it around. That's the way that I think about it anyway.
Can I follow up to that? Are you good in life like that as well, or is it just
No, terrible.
It pertains to the racetrack?
No, I'm not good in life like that.
That makes me feel better. Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody else want to add to that? Seb?
Oh, I guess is one of the key of the league is how quickly you can, switch the things around, flip the switch, and we seem to be able to do that from one race to the other with the Swiss team, which is great. We had some first places, some last places, and then first places again. So, it was, it's always difficult, but I think you also have to learn how to do it in the race, which is even more important.
Anybody else? Before we break, I think I think that is it. We want to thank all of our athletes. Congratulations. Good luck this weekend. You're going to stick around, though, because we do have, as well, the media, the one-on-one, which they're going to be able to go in the background to ask some questions. But this concludes the panel section of this morning's proceedings. And again, thank you all for being here. Thanks to our wonderful athletes. We invite any of the media who want to ask more in-depth questions one-on-one. You can head to the panel stations right in the background, and our athletes are going to head over there shortly. Additional members as well from the U.S. SailGP team are here for interviews, as are members of the SailGP team executive team. So you get to ask some more questions about the growth and the competition that's expected here this weekend. And a final reminder as well for this weekend, racing begins at 2 p.m. sharp right here, 2 p.m. Pacific time. There are a handful of tickets that still are available. If you are interested in them, just head to sailgp.com/tickets. And we look forward to having you join us here on the Water's Edge tomorrow for all the action. It's going to be an exciting time. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.